Building stone castles take a lot of time and require you to be in the late game territories. This is why until late game is a good idea to build a massive wood castle. The one you will learn to do in this video is surrounded by a moat full of water with 4 drawbridges you can use to access it. Once inside you will find 8 different cultivable areas for all the food you and your team will need. While in the corners there are 4 different opened structures. The first is a max level forge. The second is a coal production building. In the third section you can find a smelter, while in the last one the max level workbench. Each of these opened rooms is equipped with 2 massive storage shelves. Then in the middle of the castle you will find the keep. On 2 sides you can find the entrance on the first floor, where there is a dining room with a massive kitchen and several corner storage for your food and cooking ingredients. While on the other 2 sides of this building you can find the staircase to access the next floors. On the second floor you can find 4 bedrooms equipped with a dragon bed, 2 chests for the equipment and several commodities and decorations. In between all the room entrances there are also 2 fermenters, below which you can even find the chest where you can store your meat base and a ready fermented one. The next and the last floor is a portal hub with 4 portals. Between them you can find the access to the normal balcony or the one with the staircase. From here you can get on top of the roof and sprinting get on the upper section. This will allow you to access the 16 beehives on top of the roof in order to collect all the honey you will need for your meat production. Around all these buildings you can find a solid defense composed of the normal towers on each corner and 2 gatehouse towers near the entrances, for a total of 12 towers connected one to the other with a defensive wall. The 2 towers guarding the entrance are connected also on the upper side as well. To finish, hidden inside each tower staircase you can find a workbench required to repair any damage you will take your castle, a forge to build some sconces, and a ward in order to alert you in case of attacks. The last one will even prevent other players from opening your doors and building around the castle. Says all of this, it is time to start the building process. All begins with half wood walls that you have to use in order to create a 3x3 room. That will be your first tower foundation once you will cover it with wood floors. But leave the central part opened and use the half walls to connect them to the ground. This is needed to be able to place in each internal and external corner the 4-meter log poles as supports for the tower you will build in this section. Once the log poles are in place, you can cover the central hall with another floor. Next, from the center of one side extend a 5x1 foundation that will be used to build a defensive wall. This time the log poles have to be placed in each internal snapping point, leaving the corners without. Now add another tower, a 2x1 wall and a second tower foundation that will be used to build the gatehouse. To finish this wall side, add another 5x1 wall and a tower foundation. Copy the same setup to create the other 4 external walls. Next step is to add the walls between the external log poles, but leave each tower connection with the wall opened. While in the gatehouse section, where you have a 2x1 foundation without log poles, you have to add the wood staircase on both sides going down from this foundation. Next, instead of walls, use the wood gates in this section, and isolate the gate from the tower corridors with some walls. Repeat this process all around, then get inside the internal area surrounded by the walls. Considering that you close completely the access inside the tower and the wall corridors, you have to create some access points from inside. To do so, destroy the wall on the opposite side from the gatehouse entrance tower. Attach to this hole a staircase, and where you had previously the wall, place a wood door. Repeat this process until you have the access point on each gatehouse side. Once done, get inside each tower foundation and place in the center between the poles a word that you have to remember to activate, and hide it with the walls between the poles. You have to do this in each tower foundation in order to optimize the defense power of the castle. Now you need to continue each wall you just made by extending them with the half walls. This will complete the first floor of the external defenses. Now get inside each tower section, and from the side you don't have the corridor access, place the wood stair followed by a floor in the corner. Extend this staircase the same way 2 times in order to reach the upper section of the wall. Here you can cover only the first tower side, leaving the other 3 without, otherwise you won't be able to use the staircase. Repeat this process for each tower, and while doing so cover also the corridors and gates between them as well. Once done, get in front of the wall section, where you need to build the wood beams for each upper log pole side. Then attach to each a 26-degree beam, and connect them together with another series of beams. Do this action also on the other wall side. On the external one, use the small floors attached to the external side and polish them with some beams on both sides of the hall. While in the internal side, place some normal wood floors and polish only the edge with the beams. Repeat this for each normal wall between the towers. While on top of the gatehouse, you need to do the same thing without the bottom wall supports. For the 5-floor wall, you need to extend for each external snapping point a log pole. Connect the bottom side with the half walls, followed by 2-meter log beams. Then place the half wall on the upper side of the pole, and this time on the bottom side the 2-meter log beams. Next you have to extend from each log pole a 26-degree wood beam and connect them together with the 26-degree wood crosses. This will allow you to place a 26-degree roof and ridge on top of this wall section. All this process must be repeated not only on top of each wall section but also on top of the gates, with the only difference that this time is made by 2 sections instead of 5. Once each wall is done, time to move to the towers, where you must extend each log pole and the walls between them, followed by another staircase from the last corner floor you placed. Repeat this process for another tower section, but this time don't forget to remove the 26-degree beams and crosses before placing the wall also on the side of the corridors. Next, get on top of the wall's roof and extend from each wall snapping point the wood beams and add on the bottom side of it the 26-degree one as support for them. Next, connect the new structure with another series of beams. Connect also the corners. Keep in mind that you can find some problems while building the extension on the external side of the tower, but with the right position you can attach the first beam. Once you place the first, get on its edge and you will be able to easily use the other snapping points to place the others. The next step is using the small wood floors to add an outer floor attached to the external beams. Then place on top of the walls and on the internal side of the floors the beams all around. Now on each external snapping point place a log pole, and in between each of them add the half walls covered with the 2-meter log beams. Then on the upper side of the poles place another set of half walls, and this time on their bottom side the log beams. Time to raise the central support pillar using log poles and walls. Once done, attach to the pillar a ladder in order to see the snapping point on top, required to add another pillar level. Then extend the ladder furthermore to reach the last pillar level. While doing so, add a combination of small floors and ladders in order to reach the top side of the new log poles. This will help you not only to finish the pillar but also to place on top of each wall the 26-degree wood cross, and a ridge roof in the middle to protect the pillar from the rain. Done this, you can remove the ladders that you don't need anymore. Now, starting from some small pillars and beams, start building the railings around the staircase hall to prevent people falling down. Done this, it's time to complete the tower, placing the roof. To do so, build 45-degree beams for each log pole. While doing so, in the corners add the 45-degree or corner roofs, while in the sides the normal 45-degree one. The same pattern has to be done again to complete the roof and reach the pillar. The last step for the tower is to cover the staircase you will see from the wall corridors. On the side where you see the stairs in the middle of the pillar, you need to cover completely the external and central side with the wood walls, while the other side must be covered only the upper section with half wall, leaving enough space to reach the other corridor. While on the other side you need to place on both sides the half wall on the upper section, and cover the central wall completely with normal walls. But be careful that on one side you have to use the half wall to not pierce the staircase. To give utility to this hidden section, I suggest you to build inside it a forge. While at the ground floor, behind the beginning of the tower staircase, build a workbench and hide it with a wall. For decorative purposes on the sides, you just build wall sections, place some wood poles and beams as frames. Repeat this tower building process in each corner of the structure. While for the tower near the gatehouse you have to raise them till the upper floor the same way, but once there you need to connect the two towers with a floor between them. Also, while doing the upper section extension, build normally the lateral one, but for the front and back side you must add only 2 floor extensions. While in the 4th floor area between them add only the beams in the internal side. Once you finish the extension with small floors and beams, start placing the log poles not only in each extension snapping point, but also on the 4 internal one where you don't build the extension. At this point build the tower windows with the half walls and the log beams on the bottom and top section between each log pole. Once done, extend both pillars 2 times as you did in the previous tower and cover them with the 26-degree crosses and roof ridges. Add the staircase railing on both sides of the pillars. Then connect the log poles close to the pillar with the half wall and log beams. Next step is to use 2 45-degree wall and a normal one on top of these sections in order to separate the tower area from the corridor between them. This will allow you to correctly build the roof on top of the tower section as you did in the normal towers. While in the corridor you have to build the roof the same way you did in the corridors on the lower floor, meaning you need to use the 26-degree beams and crosses to build the normal and ridge roof. Now that the gatehouse tower are done, it's time to get downstairs in the corridor between the towers, where you have to add a stairs from the lower floor on both sides, while the other section has to be covered with normal walls and decorated with the poles and beams. For the other side connected to the normal corridor, this time build the walls on the middle and on the right, while on the left place the half wall on the upper section, leaving a frame you can decorate with poles and beams to access the tower staircase. Repeat this gatehouse building for each other 3 entrances as well. At this point, before your castle gets attacked by a troll, it is a good idea to extend from the lower section of the 4 external entrances staircase a 3x2 wood floor. Then connect 2 45-degree wood beams starting from the 2nd floor all the way till the wall, and decorate the lateral external side of the floor with wood beams. As a result, you will build a drawbridge to access the castle. Once done, take out your pickaxe and start digging at the same level of the 2nd bridge floor till you will reach the water, and extend this trench all around the castle walls and build the other 3 bridges in the process. In case you will fall down in the mod, you need a way to get out. For this purpose, attach some wood ladders from the internal side of the bridge all the way till the water. Keep in mind that the ladders cannot be used by mobs but only by the players, so is a good solution to this problem. To finish the external wall defenses you need some lights. Starting from the wall corridors, you can add 2 sconces on the wall you build to enter inside the towers. 2 on the walls on the small section on top of the entrances, while on the top level of each tower place the sconces on the middle of each pillar wall. Going outside of the tower, build a sconce at the level of the upper half wall in the middle and for decorative purposes place 2 flags on both sides of it. Once you did this on each external wall side, it's time to move inside. Then from each tower extend 3 wood beams from the lower half wall snapping point. From the intersection of the first 2 beams add another series of them along the wall tower wall. On the bottom of each beam snapping point place the small poles to give them support from the ground. And remove the first beam you used only to place the fence 1 meter from the tower. After all the beams have the pole support, extend another 2 beams going inward opposite to the first you built. Now remove each corner beam and place at their place a standing torch, then place back the pole. Once done, you will have a 2x3 partially fenced area to be used as a farm. So take out your cultivator and place here a cultivable area, where you can plant whatever you want like turpin or carrots. Build this garden section the same way in front of each gatehouse tower. This way you will end with 8 gardens. Time to build some roads. To do so, take out your hoe tool and place the paved road around each garden area. While doing so, use the level ground from the hoe tool to remove the extra roads you don't need and make the road straight. And don't forget to place back the cultivable area that will be accidentally covered by the rocks in the process. Now it's time to get out some 26-degree wood beams and start extending the one used for the defensive corridors. For the internal one is enough only 1 to create the triangulated edge. For the next one you need 2 beams, then 3, and for the last one 4. As a result, you will have the roof shape you need to place here using the 26-degree oak corner in the corners and the normal 26-degree roofs in the sides. Next step is to place the floor extended from each wall covered by the roof. This will create a 5x5 area with 1 corner used by the tower walls. Now place the 4-meter log pole between the first and the second external floor and 1 between the third and the fourth. Then extend the last one furthermore using a 2-meter one to reach the roof. Next, using the 45-degree wood beams, connect the internal log pole to the roof, while the 26-degree one to connect the external one to the same snapping point. To finish, use again 2 45-degree one to connect the same log pole to the higher corner of the roof. After you do the same on the other side, take out some small wood poles you have to place on both sides of the longer log pole and use them to build a railing from the wall till the last small pole, leaving the last floor without. It will be used as an access point inside this area. On top of each floor close to the wall, place 2 wood poles to reach the support beams. Then add between the poles and the wall the normal walls on the bottom and half walls on the upper section. Next, in the second and third section, place wood floors on each snapping point to create in total 8 sections. For decorative purposes, place the beams on the end of each floor. As a result, you will have a 8-slot shelf you have to fill with 60 chests. Keep in mind that to be able to place the upper chest, you need to use the ladder to see the respective snapping points. The same way, build another shelf on the other side. While in front of the central log pole, you have to add a workbench. To increase reach level, you can place a tool shelf on the pole behind it, a chopping block in the shelf corner, a tanning rack on the right side of the workbench, and the adze in front of the other log pole. For room illumination, you can place the sconces in each side of the storage shelves. While to organize better the items stored inside the shelves, you can use the beams for several signs. This room is complete, so it's time to move to the next corner, where you have to build the same structure you did for the workbench. The same way, add also the storage shelves and the sconces. Place the forge behind one of the log poles. To raise its level on the internal side of it, place a forge bellows. On the opposite side, a forge cooler, the forge tool rack on the pole, the anvils on the left from the other log pole. opposite to it add a grinding wheel, while in the shelf corner the smith's anvil. The forge is done, so it's time to move to the next corner. The mine structure is the same, but this time, before placing the floor, you need to place first on the side closer to the fence 2 charcoal kilns. Then you can complete the floor around them. For the shelves, this time you need to place them close to the tower pillar. The building process is exactly the same, with the only change that one wall is already built. Also for the illumination, this time you need to place the scones on both shelves in between the central signs. For the last corner, as previously, the mine structure is the same. The difference is that you need to place the smelter on top of the central floor close to the fences. This must be done before you place the floor in these locations. Considering you need some space to reach the slots to insert the coal and metal ores, it is better that the shelves and scones this time will be built exactly the way you did in the charcoal kiln areas. Now that each corner is done, time to build the central structure that is the keep. To place it precisely in the middle, start placing the floors from the roadside on the internal garden pillar snapping points. Using this method, build in the middle of the castle area a 6x6 floor. In front and opposite to one of the entrances, build 2 wood gates, while on the other external areas add the normal wood walls. Extend it by another level and use the half walls to cover the hole on top of the gates. Then, in each corner of the structure, place the 4 metal log poles. And get back inside, where you have to remove the central 4 floors. On each corner hole, place another 4 meter log poles. Next, cover this area with 2 hearths, and connect the upper part of the log poles with some wood half walls to direct the smoke straight up. On top of each hearth you can fit a cauldron in the middle and a free cooking station on both sides of it. Next step is to use 2 wood poles in each corner. Connect the opposite side from the entrance with the walls in order to create a 1x1 section. Now, with the help of half walls as a sniping point, place 3 floors in the middle covered with the wood beams. This will result in creating a shelf with 4 slots that can host 8 chests inside. You can use the beams to place some signs there as usually to identify what you will have inside them. Once you build this type of storage shelf in each corner, it's time to switch towards some flags. Place them in both sides of the entrance wall. Then take out a table that you have to add between the storage shelves attached to the wall without the gates. Surround it with 4 chairs. On each right chair side on top of the table, place an item stand for a tankard. In the middle, in front of each chair, place also another item stand for this too, while the small hole left close to the wall can be used by a bread you can also play thanks to the last item stand. While on the wall in front of the table you can use some vertical item stands. 1 in the middle for the deer trophy and 2 on the sides for the shield with the colors of the flag you used. After you did the same composition on the other side of the room, it is time to complete it by placing a logs rug under both table and another set of flags on the shelf wall facing the tables. Time to get out of this room and get in front of the building wall without the entrances, exactly in the middle of which add a half wall to be used as a snapping point for 2 floors you need to place in the middle of the central wall. Once placed, remove the half wall and attach a pair of stairs in front of them. Build another 2 stairs along the wall, followed by a floor. Next, along the other wall, extend the staircase by another stair, followed this time by 4 floors. Now, mirror the same setup on the other side to create the staircase going down this time. Once you repeat this process also on the other side, you will have the staircase going all around the building. Now use some small wood poles, 26 abnormal beams to create the railings to protect you from falling down. At this point that you have access to the second floor, it is time to create it, placing the wood floors on top of the first one, leaving the central area opened for the chimney smoke escape. Next, extend the log poles in each floor corner and on top of the chimney. Close the chimney with the walls all the way up. Then from the central part of the chimney extend another 2x2 wall on both sides. Then start completing the room with normal walls. While doing so, in the middle area facing the staircase floors, place a door on the bottom and a wall on top of it. While in the central area where there is no staircase access, add a half wall in the bottom and top side to create a window. And to make it even cooler, use the log beams and poles all around the hall. In the 2x1 area on one side of the door, place a dragon bed. Next, at the level of the window, add a table with a chair in front of it, close enough to the table in order to avoid blocking the passage. Then, on both sides of the table, place 2 chests. While in the middle of the wall opposite to the entrance, add a sconce. Then, to decorate the table, place on the right from the chair a tankard, in the middle a stew, on the left a lox pie, on top between the stew and the pie some bread, on the top right corner some sausages, while near the tankard a stamina or poison resist mead. Now, upside the chest, build a shelf using 2 small floors. On top of them you can place the poison resistant, health regen and stamina meads as decoration. While to finish the room, place on the right wall from the sconce the flag and under the chair a lox rug. Repeat this process another 3 times to complete the floor and create 4 bedrooms. Then get out and extend the 4x1 floor staircase section with another floor line. From the external floor start the staircase going up, followed by a floor, and along the other wall add 3 stairs followed by another 2 floors. Mirror the same setup on the other side, but this time going down. And repeat the same process on the other side to create another staircase loop going towards the 3rd floor. In case, while building the first staircase loop, you build the railings on the 4 floors you extended previously, remove them. Then build the new railings along the new staircase loop. At this point, cover the new floor, leaving again the area upside the chimney opened. Next step is to extend the 2 upper floors by another row and place from the external corner a log pole all the way till the ground to support it. While doing so, remove the small beam on the railing you made on the entrance staircase. Then, using several 45-degree wood beams, connect the poles to each internal floor snapping point for decoration purposes. Repeat this process in front of the other entrance. While for the walls where you don't have the 2 staircase floors, add in the middle a 4x2 floor extension that you need to connect also with the ground with the log poles, and use the 45-degree for decorations like previously done for the entrances. Once all 4 sides has this floor extension, it is time to get back on the 3rd floor, where you need to extend all the support log poles for the extension, the same for each corner and chimney. At this point you can cover the chimney with the walls and using a ladder get high enough to see the upper snapping point to extend its poles by another level. On the upper section you have to add the half walls to be used as a snapping point to build the roof to protect the fire from the rain. Once done, remove the ladder and the half walls used for this purpose. Now you need to extend the extension poles by another level using temporary ladders to see their snapping points. Now cover each corner with the walls, leaving the extensions open. On the one without the staircase connection, build a railing, while on the one with the staircase access, do the same but leave the passage open to be able to get downstairs. Done this, in each extension area it's time to place the sign on each upper chimney wall and a sconce in between of them. These signs are needed to identify the locations you will get by using the portals you have to build in the corners. Repeat this in each side in order to have 4 total portals in this room. At this point it is time to extend the walls with another level and place in each extension access point the gates covered with the half walls to close the walls hole on top of them. The next step is to connect the extension poles with the gate half walls using 2 45-degree wood beams. Connect these 2 poles with 2 normal wood beams and 45-degree one as support for them. This will allow you to build a roof on top of this section. Repeat this process for each balcony. Now switch towards the 26-degree beams in order to connect each chimney pole to the gate half walls in order to build the roofs also on top of the central structure. To avoid the smoke from getting inside the upper floor, cover the hole between the roof end and the rest of the chimney with normal walls all around. Once all 4 sides roof are built, it's time to move towards the corners, where you have to extend 2 26-degree beams from the last part of the wall that will create a perfect area where to place the normal roofs in the sides and the corner roofs in the central area. After the central roof is done, it's time to protect the staircase from the rain as well. To do so, extend the roof on both sides of the balcony with 3 lines of 2 45-degree beams that you can use to place the next part of the roof. Repeat this process on each balcony side. While for the corners, first extend on the bottom section of this roof side some wood beams and add 1 extra after the roof end. From these beams extend another 45-degree beam to create a new corner once you do this on both sides. On the upper section place a 45-degree corner roof, while on the sides the normal one, leaving the last part without any roof protection. Repeat this process until you will complete the roof. Thanks to beams you made for the last roof section, you can get on top of it from the balcony without falling down, and sprinting get on the upper section of the roof, from where you need to place another line of wood beams for other 2 snapping points on each 45-degree roofs in order to avoid sliding down and falling from the roof. Once done all around, extend from the central part some small wood poles, on top of which you can place the beehive to cultivate the honey you will need for your meat production. Doing this all around, you will end with 16 beehives, that is more than enough for your team. You have the honey production, but you still need the fermenters. This is why, in the 2 areas between the bedroom axes, you have just the right space to place them. Start from 3 small wood poles in front of the wall between the room's doors. Use them to place 2 floors there. On top of these floors you can place 2 fermenters. Separate them with a wall that you also have to add on both sides of them. Then extend these walls with a half one till the staircase floors. Extend also the beams all the way till the floor. While on the bottom area you made under the fermenters, you can place 2 chests in each. Then cover the fermenters floor with some wood beams, on top of which you can add a sign to identify what mead you will host there. While on the central pole, add a sconce to illuminate the area. Speaking about the illumination, after you did the fermenter area also on the other side loop, it's time to place the sconces on the internal tower area with the flags as you did previously outside. While for the keep, on the staircase loop beginning, you have a perfect wall for another sconce in the middle and another 2 flags on the sides. While for the first floor entrance, place the sconce on the external side and the flag near the gates. Going upstairs till the bedroom entrance, add another sconce on top of the room entrance and the flag on the side close to the staircase. While on the beams intersection under the balcony, you can place a hanging brazier that you have to build also at the same spot on the balcony itself. To finish, the last perfect location for the hanging braziers are the roof edges on each outdoor corner building. A little note, for decorative purposes you can add more paved roads around the keep till you don't see any empty terrain. This is all, the wood castle is done, so it's time for you to build it in your playthrough.